Come with me for a fun and fascinating look at many types of racing cars, motorcycles, and go-karts. Today, we're going to a racetrack in Tooele, Utah. Utah is a state located in the western part of the United States, in the Rocky Mountains. The racetrack we're visiting is Miller Motorsports Park. This park has one of the most modern and extensive racing facilities in the United States. You're looking at an aerial view of the racetrack right now. This track is located at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Some of these mountains reach up to 12,000 feet above sea level, or 4,000 meters. The racing facility itself is about 5,000 feet above sea level. There are always lots of entertaining things happening at the track. Come with me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. This car started out as a regular Ford Mustang, but it's been modified, and now you are looking at a high-performance race car. If you want to drive one of these race cars, you'll need the same protective gear you wear on the go-kart track. A good helmet, strap yourself in, and you're ready to go. Notice the bar across the windshield. Windshield. This is part of an internal roll cage that will maintain the integrity of the car during an accident, even an accident where the car tips over and rolls several times. This Ford Mustang has been race prepared. Many of the parts of the Mustang which are not necessary for racing have been removed. For example, the rear seats, the radio, the air conditioning, and the heater, they've all been taken out. This drops the weight of the car from about 3,500 pounds to under 3,000 pounds. The suspension has also been modified and stiffened to make the car corner tighter and handle better in the turns. The engine on this car is a V8 motor. V8 motor. It has 8 cylinders in a V formation and displaces about 5,000 cc's or 5 liters. This engine has been modified to increase its horsepower output from under 300 horsepower to nearly 400 horsepower. This really increases the car's ability to accelerate. This car also features lightweight alloy rims and low-profile racing tires. Anything that reduces the weight of the car helps it go faster and handle better. This may look like a typical street car, but it's not. It has been heavily modified, and it is fun to drive on a racetrack. This father-son team is about to head out to the track in a pair of Mustangs. They are excited to get onto the track. Before driving on the track, it's important to remember some safety rules. Always wear a protective race suit in case of fire. This father and son team are wearing red racing suits. Notice the safety harness. This is one of the most important safety features on any race car. Seat belts must be properly adjusted to hold the driver firmly in place. Everything must be properly adjusted, including the seat, to make sure the driver is both safe and comfortable in the race car. This driver has his helmet on with the visor in place. He's wearing his neck protector, protective racing suit, and gloves. Everything is properly adjusted, so he is ready to go. The first laps on the track are always warm-up laps. Cars are driven at half speed to give the drivers the opportunity to warm the engines, warm the tires, and get a feel for track conditions. Cars perform very differently depending on the temperature of the track and other conditions. Tires adhere better to the track once they are warmed. A hot track often provides better grip, so cars go faster and lap times are lower as a result. After several laps, the cars begin to go faster and faster. Notice that some of the cars have wings on their rear deck. This creates downforce, which allows the cars to corner more quickly than cars without wings. The checkered flag means the lapping session is over. Come into the pits. The drivers will make one more lap around the track before entering the pits to allow the cars to cool down to normal operating temperatures. Car racing includes all different types of cars. These Mustangs were designed to drive on the street, but they have been modified for racing.
Are you looking for a way to change your life? The answer may be as easy as watching TV. Introducing Hello Channel, an exciting new channel that's designed to teach you to speak English. New opportunities will be available to you when you learn the language of the internet, commerce, travel, and diplomacy. No need to pay for your expensive schools or tutors. You can learn English by watching Hello Channel. Invest in yourself. For a brighter future, say hello.
Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. This is a prototype racing car. It's very light, very fast, and very expensive. Let's look in the cockpit. You'll notice it doesn't look anything like the car you drive on the street. Course workers control the race through the use of flags. Course workers are stationed at most turns and at the start line and the finish line. Course workers stay in communication through headphones and microphones. The course worker at the start line and the finish line makes decisions that affect the race. This position is called race control. Race control. Drivers must pay close attention to the course workers in order to avoid serious problems. It is critical that all drivers understand the purpose of each flag and react to the instructions they receive from course workers through the use of these flags.
If you're going to race any car, you'll need to know the rules of the road. Those rules include understanding what each flag means. This one, the green flag, means the race is on. If you see this flag, the yellow flag, that means slow down. This blue flag means someone behind you is going faster than you're driving. Move over. When you see this flag, it means stop immediately. The red flag means warning, there's some trouble on the racetrack. When you see this flag, it means the race is almost finished. The white flag means one lap to go. This is the black flag. There's something wrong with your car or you're driving recklessly. Come in off the track. I think we've all seen this one before. This is the checkered flag. It means race is over. We have a winner.
Come with me for a fun and fascinating look at many types of racing cars, motorcycles, and go-karts. Today, we're going to a racetrack in Tooele, Utah. Utah is a state located in the western part of the United States, in the Rocky Mountains. The racetrack we're visiting is Miller Motorsports Park. This park has one of the most modern and extensive racing facilities in the United States. You're looking at an aerial view of the racetrack right now. This track is located at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Some of these mountains reach up to 12,000 feet above sea level, or 4,000 meters. The racing facility itself is about 5,000 feet above sea level. There are always lots of entertaining things happening at the track. Come with me. Today we're going to the motorcycle racetrack. My name is Ruth Todd. Today we're going to take a look at motorcycle racing. We're at Miller Motorsports Park in Tooele, Utah, one of the best racing facilities in the United States. Many world-class drivers who race here at Miller think it's one of the best tracks in the world. These tents are the home base for this weekend for the Ducati motorcycle racing team. Ducati is an Italian brand. This team has come all the way from Italy to compete in the Western United States. This race weekend at Miller Motorsports Park features an international race series. Motorcycle riders and racing teams come from all over the world to participate in this event. Drivers come from all parts of Europe, South America, North America, and the Far East. It is truly an international competition. This rider is from Japan. Earlier, he fell off his motorcycle and hurt his shoulder. The bag of ice on his shoulder reduces the pain and keeps his shoulder from swelling. It will be very painful for him to ride his motorcycle during the races this weekend. Motorcycle racing is extremely exciting, and as you will see today, it can also be extremely dangerous. Racing motorcycles travel at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. That's nearly 300 kilometers per hour. And of course, when motorcycles crash, there is very little protection for the drivers. Let's take a look at this exciting form of motorsports racing. Come with me to the motorcycle track. Motorcycles are very lightweight and very powerful. They are also aerodynamic. Notice the fairing on the front of the motorcycle. The fairing allows the air to pass around the driver as quickly and efficiently as possible. It almost makes the motorcycle slippery as it passes through the air. Drivers lower themselves behind the fairing in order to reduce wind resistance and make the motorcycle as aerodynamic as possible. International motorcycle racing is new in this part of the United States. Many of these fans are coming to the racetrack for the first time to watch this exciting form of racing and learn more about it. This is one of the European drivers. Notice all of the emblems on his racing suit, on his helmet, and on his motorcycle. These emblems contain the names of companies which sponsor this rider and his racing team. All of the motorcycles which race in this series are manufactured in Japan and Italy, but the drivers, they come from all over the world. It's almost time for racing to begin. Riders and teams are making last-minute adjustments to their motorcycles. This driver is getting last-minute instructions from his team manager before qualifying. Qualifying is a process of preliminary lapping on the track to determine who the fastest riders are. The fastest riders begin the race at the front of the grid. The grid is the part of the track where the drivers position themselves before the race begins. The grid is usually located at the start and finish line where the race begins and where it ends. Drivers achieve speeds of nearly 200 miles per hour or 300 kilometers per hour on this straight. Then they need to drop their speed by more than 60% for the first turn. With over 50 drivers trying to negotiate the first turn at the same time, it is the most dangerous part of the racetrack. The first turn of any race is always the most exciting. It looks like all of these riders got through the first turn without any accident.
Hello, I'm Ruth. Learning to speak English can change your life. Knowing this valuable language can provide you with so many opportunities in education as well as the job market. Now you can learn English just by watching television. Introducing Hello Channel, a channel designed to help you learn English right in your own home. You can choose from Hello Channel's classroom programming, or you can watch great entertainment. All of it will teach you how to speak English. Hello Channel offers programs on every level, so you'll find something exactly right for you. Start today to build success by learning English. For a brighter future, say hello.
Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. Professional motorcycle races are generally fairly short. Most of the races last less than 1 hour and include about 30 laps around the track. One of the interesting things about motorcycle racing is that you can see very clearly how the rider and the bike work together. Notice how the riders position themselves on their motorcycles in order to turn and make themselves more aerodynamic on the straight part of the racetrack. Notice the lean angle on the motorcycles. The tires on these bikes have very good grip or traction. Notice that the tires are rounded to provide adhesion at almost any lean angle. These motorcycles weigh under 350 pounds, or about 150 kilos. The engines displace about 1,000 cc's, that's about 1 liter, but they often produce over 200 horsepower. That creates a very extreme power-to-weight ratio. Power-to-weight ratio. Racing motorcycles can accelerate and decelerate very quickly. Notice that this driver elevates himself on top of his motorcycle as he is slowing down for the turn. When a driver elevates himself like this, it actually creates wind resistance against his body and helps slow down the motorcycle. The motorcycle needs to slow down in order to negotiate the turn. While exiting the turn, the driver will lower himself behind the fairing in order to reduce wind resistance and to accelerate more quickly. Oftentimes, riders will extend their knees to the pavement to gauge the lean angle of the motorcycle. This helps the driver know how close the motorcycle is to the pavement. Notice the drivers have large pads on their knees to protect themselves from the hard pavement at high speeds. When drivers' knees are extended, it also creates additional wind resistance and helps slow the motorcycle. In car racing, the drivers have electronic communications with their team managers in the pits. Motorcycle riders receive information from the pits through a pit board. This team manager is relaying information to his rider through the black board that he is holding. This pit board contains information such as the driver's position in the race, how many laps have been completed, how many laps remain, and distance to the rider in front or behind. One of the most exciting and compelling things about motorcycle racing is the element of danger. These riders are going so fast that even the slightest mistake can result in a painful fall. Watch. Drivers risk all of that danger for the possibility of winning the race. There is no better feeling than finishing first. This race is over. Course workers wave flags to congratulate all the riders, the rider who won the race, riders who finished the race, and all of the riders who competed. This team is watching the race on video monitor. Their driver wins the race, which makes for a very successful weekend for all of them. Many hard hours of preparation go into each race weekend, and when your team wins, it is rewarding and satisfying. When your team loses, it is frustrating and disappointing. The first 3 drivers receive their trophies and prizes. Then they celebrate by spraying champagne. Spraying champagne is a tradition typical in all forms of motor racing.
He came very close to a full season level of racing.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
This is Hello Channel. Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack.
This little race car is so much fun. It's called a Lotus, and it was made in England. For a race car, it doesn't weigh very much. This Lotus weighs about 1,100 pounds or 450 kilos. Once you get racing on the track in this Lotus, you will not want to stop.
This is the engine. These are the carburetors. These are the air filters. This engine is a 4-cylinder motor. It has 16 valves, 4 valves per cylinder. It produces about 200 horsepower. This is the front of the car. Notice the wide tires. These are special slicks designed for racing. These slicks provide good traction for high-speed driving. These are the headlights. These are the shock absorbers and springs. Inside the nose of the car, you can see the radiator. Radiator. You can also see the radiator fan. Radiator fan. This keeps the car cool on hot days. These are the wheels, or rims. Rims. They are made of lightweight metal alloy. These are the lug nuts. Lug nuts. The lug nuts keep the wheels on the car. This car has 4 lug nuts for each wheel. This is the fender. Fender. This is the rear light. Rear light. It has the brake light, the driving light, and the turn signal. This is the reverse light. Reverse light. This is the filler cap. Filler cap. The filler cap is where you put fuel in the car. This car runs on high-octane gasoline. This is the Lotus emblem. Lotus emblem. Lotus cars are manufactured in England. England is part of the British Isles. Lotus is famous for constructing very light cars that are very fast. Here is another view of the engine. Engine. Notice the exhaust pipes. Exhaust pipes. There are 4, 1 for each cylinder. Cylinder. Each cylinder has 1 piston and 4 valves. 1 piston and 4 valves. 2 of the 4 valves are for fuel intake. The other 2 are for exhaust. This is the oil filler cap. Oil filler cap. Now we are in the cockpit. Cockpit. The cockpit is also called the driver's seat. Driver's seat. This is the steering wheel. Steering wheel. This is the speedometer. Speedometer. The speedometer tells us how fast we are traveling. The speedometer measures the miles per hour traveled or the kilometers per hour traveled. This is the tachometer. Tachometer. The tachometer indicates how fast the engine is spinning. The tachometer reflects the engine's revolutions per minute, or RPM. This is the key. Key. The key starts the ignition. The ignition is the electricity that runs the car. This is the gas pedal. Gas pedal. The gas pedal accelerates the engine. This is the brake pedal. Brake pedal. The brake pedal slows the car. This is the clutch pedal. Clutch pedal. The clutch disengages or separates the engine from the transmission. The clutch is used to shift gears. This car has 7 gears, 6 forward gears, and 1 reverse gear. Are you ready? Now let's go out on the track. Now we're with the driver on the track. Notice the windshield and the rear view mirror. Windshield. The windshield blocks the wind and also protects the driver from small rocks and bugs. This is the rear view mirror. It allows the driver to see behind the car. This is very important on the track with many different types of cars. This is the fuel gauge. Fuel gauge. It indicates how much fuel is in the fuel tank. This car holds about 8 gallons of fuel, or about 32 liters. This is the oil pressure gauge. Oil pressure gauge. This gauge indicates how much oil pressure the engine has. Oil pressure is measured in pounds per square inch. This is the water temperature gauge. Water temperature gauge. This gauge indicates how hot the engine is running. This driver is wearing a helmet. A helmet. Also, a protective racing suit, and protective racing gloves, racing gloves. The suit and gloves are designed to protect the driver in case of fire. This silver knob is the shift lever. Shift lever. This lever changes the gears in the transmission. The Lotus is followed on the track by a Porsche, then a Corvette, then another Porsche. Porsches are made in Germany. Corvettes are made in the United States. The bar behind the driver is called a roll bar. Roll bar. A roll bar is designed to protect the driver in an accident or crash which causes the car to roll over. This driver has a protective visor on his helmet and is also using sunglasses. Look at the camera mounted on the roll bar. Now the Lotus is behind a white Porsche with a black convertible top. Now it's my turn. I'm going to climb into this little Lotus.
My first Lotus ride. Here we go.
Notice that I'm also wearing a helmet for protection. This car is very powerful and very fast.
He was going to take me on a spin. He was not kidding. That was a great ride. Thank you.
Learn English and have fun.
Come with me. We're here at the market. We're here in the produce department. Shoppers can find all sorts of delicious fresh fruits and vegetables. Apples. At our market here today, there are many varieties. Let's take a look.
Many people buy Honeycrisp, Honeycrisp, Braeburn, Braeburn, Red Delicious, Red Delicious. These are some other favorite fruits. Bananas, bananas. Tangerines, tangerines. Berries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. Sauce with cranberries.
These are melons. There are many different types. You can buy this one called a watermelon. This one is a cantaloupe. And this melon is a honeydew.
These are some other favorite fruits.
Grapefruit, grapefruit. Orange, orange.
Avocados, avocados. Vegetables. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, brown potatoes, red potatoes, yams.
Are you wondering what to fix for dinner? Let's head to the meat department and find out.
Beef, beef. Pork, pork. Chicken, chicken.
Welcome to the dairy section. This area has the milks, the butter, yogurt, cottage cheese, sour cream. These items are usually in refrigerated cases, so they stay cool and fresh.
Butter, cubed butter, cubed butter. Spray butter. And when you're in the dairy section, don't forget to buy milk. Eggs.
Welcome to the bakery. There is just no place in any market that smells quite as wonderful as the bakery.
Cupcakes. Pastries. Bread. White bread. buns, buns. French bread.
This is the checkout area of the grocery store. The grocery store worker scans the items, the prices come up on the computer screen, and you know how much you owe. What's my balance?
It's $37.37.
$37.37. Can I use this? Most people use a credit card or cash. Either one works. If you use a credit card, you slide it right into the credit card machine. At the grocery store, you can either put your groceries in a paper bag like this one, a plastic bag like this, or you might want to bring your own environment-friendly bag from home. And that's it, a successful trip to the market. Thanks so much for coming with me. Now I've got my groceries, it's time for me to go home and make dinner.
This is Hello Channel. Come learn English as you watch TV. It will change your life.
Come with me for a fun and fascinating look at many types of racing cars, motorcycles, and go-karts. Today, we're going to a racetrack in Tooele, Utah. Utah is a state located in the western part of the United States, in the Rocky Mountains. The racetrack we're visiting is Miller Motorsports Park. This park has one of the most modern and extensive racing facilities in the United States. You're looking at an aerial view of the racetrack right now. This track is located at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Some of these mountains reach up to 12,000 feet above sea level, or 4,000 meters. The racing facility itself is about 5,000 feet above sea level. There are always lots of entertaining things happening at the track. Come with me. Let's go to the go-kart track.
Okay, we are at the racetrack today. We've got two of our good friends, Lauren and Brooke. Hi, girls.
Hi.
Glad to have you. Are you ready to race?
Yes. Sure.
You've got some important information for us before you start.
Yeah, that's right. Because when you're about to race, it's important to wear the right equipment.
That's right, Brooke. It's important to have a helmet.
Helmets. Well, we happen to have two helmets. Here's one right here. It's got Brooke's name on it already. All right, another Hello Channel Lauren helmet all ready for you.
A neck brace.
You'll need a neck brace. That's right. Let me show you how this goes. It's going to go right around here to protect your neck when you're speeding along in that go-kart, right?
And protective gloves.
Protective gloves, just like this. We're ready to go.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's hit the track, girls.
Okay.
All right, girls.
I think we're ready to go.
I'll go faster than you will.
I don't think so.
All right, let's go. Get your helmets on. Ready?
The girls are out on the track for the first time. They're driving slowly, just to get a feel for the track. Lauren and Brooke are in go-karts number 11 and 12. A cameraman is driving the other go-kart. As Lauren and Brooke get more comfortable with the track and the go-karts, they begin to drive a bit faster. Brooke is trying to pass Lauren. Uh-oh, she almost hits her. Be careful, girls. The girls have been out on the track for a while. They are really going fast now. Oops, maybe a little too fast.
Now, you've just finished. All right, stop. Good job. Let me shake your hand. Good job. Let me help you out. Okay. Take off your helmets then. Okay, how was that?
That was fun. So much fun.
Ready to go again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn English and have fun.
Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. Now, we're going to look at some high-performance go-karts. These go-karts are much faster than the go-karts Lauren and Brooke were driving. Let's take a look. Mechanics work on their go-karts to make sure they are perfectly prepared. This mechanic is carefully fixing a rear axle. Rear axle. The axle is made of very lightweight, high-strength metal. Here is the axle installed on the back of the go-kart.
Senior force cycle should be on the grid and ready to go. Senior force cycle.
Notice the chain drive. Chain drive. The chain sits on a sprocket, which is attached to the rear axle. All of these parts are made of lightweight alloy metals. Go-karts are extremely light and very fast. These drivers race in a professional adult class. They're getting ready for a race. Notice all the stickers on the go-karts. The stickers have names of companies which provide materials for the go-kart racers. The stickers on these carts are a form of advertising. All drivers need to wear protective equipment. This driver is putting on a fireproof head covering which will protect him in case there is a fire. Drivers also wear full-face helmets, which will protect them in case of an accident. Go-karts turn very sharply and generate a lot of lateral G-force. Wearing a helmet while driving a go-kart creates a lot of strain on the driver's neck. So drivers often wear neck supports to reduce the amount of neck strain. This driver with the red suit is wearing a neck support just underneath his helmet. The red suit he is wearing is specially designed to protect his body in case of an accident. It is made of fire-resistant material for extra safety. And the race is on. This race involves two groups. The first group is for professional drivers. The second group is for drivers that are new to the sport of go-kart racing. We call these drivers amateurs. Amateurs. Professionals race against professionals, and amateurs race against amateurs. Can you see how fast these go-karts travel? And notice how close the drivers get to each other. They need to get this close in order to pass. These go-karts are very light and very fast. It's very exciting to watch them race. White flag. This means one lap left to go. Next time around, the drivers will get the checkered flag, which means the race is over. Go-karting is a fun and competitive sport. It is much less expensive than car racing and provides fun for the whole family.
So you two must be very proud of Johnny. Well, we sure are.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
So is he working at the dealership?
No.
Yes, he is.
Oh, right, the dealership. Yeah, he just started there, and
Actually, it'd been about 6 weeks.
has it been that long?
What's he doing down there?
Well, you know, he does a bit of the, Helen, what do you call it?
Detailing?
Right, detailing. Right, he loves washing those cars.
Actually, Tom, he hates washing cars. He just thinks it's a good place to start until he can move into sales.
Ah, well, that's my Johnny, huh? Forward thinker.
He graduates next year?
No. See, he still has a couple of,
Yes, he does.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah, sure, Johnny graduates next year.
Need to get closer to your family?
Larry, what about your kids? You have kids, right? Somebody you can talk about, no?
Give your family everything. Give them your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
This is Hello Channel. Come learn English as you watch TV. It will change your life.
Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. Go-kart racing is great fun for the entire family. Let's have a look at some kids who race go-karts, boys and girls. This little girl looks as innocent as can be. Put a racing suit and a helmet on her and put her behind the wheel of a high-performance go-kart, and she turns into a very competitive kart racer. Some of these little drivers are really amazing. You might be surprised at how good some of these younger drivers are. Look at the protective equipment. Full-face driving helmet, neck protector, and a fireproof driving suit. Notice the visor on the helmet. The visor has two purposes. It protects the driver's eyes from any debris on the track, and it is tinted darker to protect the driver's eyes from the bright sunlight. These drivers are getting ready for today's race. Go-karts are being positioned on the grid. The painted lines on the grid show where the drivers should position themselves to begin the race. Some of these drivers are so small, they need special blocks installed on the gas pedal and on the brake pedal just so they can reach the pedals and be able to drive the go-kart. Here they go. The race is on. Remember, these are just small children, and they're having a great time. The race is over, and we have a winner. After the race, the cars are inspected to make sure they meet all of the requirements. The inspector is checking the weight of the go-kart with the driver. The inspector will also measure the cart to make sure it meets the proper dimension requirements. Driving a go-kart is a lot of work, but everyone has a great time. This is Hello Channel. Come with me for a fun and fascinating look at many types of racing cars, motorcycles, and go-karts. Today, we're going to a racetrack in Tooele, Utah. Utah is a state located in the western part of the United States, in the Rocky Mountains. The racetrack we're visiting is Miller Motorsports Park. This park has one of the most modern and extensive racing facilities in the United States. You're looking at an aerial view of the racetrack right now. This track is located at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Some of these mountains reach up to 12,000 feet above sea level, or 4,000 meters. The racing facility itself is about 5,000 feet above sea level. There are always lots of entertaining things happening at the track. Come with me. Today we're going to the racetrack.
This is a formula car. It can go very fast. On the racetrack, a formula car can drive 150 miles per hour or about 250 kilometers per hour.
Notice the flame coming out of the back or rear of this car. You might think that the car is on fire, but it's not. This particular type of engine is a rotary engine. It is manufactured by Mazda and produces a flame from the exhaust pipe while the driver is downshifting. It looks a little frightening, but there's nothing wrong with the car. The wings on the front and rear of this car create downforce. Downforce means air is forced over the wings, which creates downward pressure on the car. This downforce enables the car to turn corners at very high speeds. This car weighs nearly 1,200 pounds. The engine produces about 180 horsepower. The weight of a car relative to its engine power is called the power-to-weight ratio. Power-to-weight ratio. Racing cars are very light. They have powerful engines. As a result, racing cars can travel at very high speeds. This is the rear wing. It is attached to the rear part of the car's chassis, or the frame of the car. The wing is set at an angle to create downforce at the rear of the car. It is made of lightweight aluminum. It is very strong. This is the cockpit. Cockpit. Notice the small steering wheel. Notice that the steering wheel does not form a complete circle. This allows the driver to see the gauges. If the steering wheel were a complete circle, it could block the driver's view of the gauges. The gauges provide important information to the driver. This is the cockpit with the steering wheel removed. The large gauge in the center is the speedometer. Speedometer. The gauge to the left indicates oil pressure in the engine, and the gauge to the right indicates water temperature in the engine. The red handle to the left is for emergencies. It is used in case there is a fire. If the car catches fire, the driver pulls the red handle, which is attached to a fire extinguisher. This is the side pod. Side pod. Like its name, it is located on the side of the car. Inside the side pod is a radiator. Radiator. There is a side pod on the left side of the car and another side pod on the right side of the car. Two radiators keep the car's engine cool. Notice the metal tubes which surround the driver. These tubes form a roll cage. Roll cage. They protect the driver in case there is an accident. The roll cage is designed to provide protection even if the car turns upside down. The wings actually slow the car down on the straight part of the track, but they enable the car to go more quickly through the turns. Overall, the wings make the car move more quickly. Notice the exposed tires on this car. This car is a formula car. Formula car. Cars that race in formula classes have exposed tires, like these. The tires are wide and very sticky, and they help the car turn corners at high speeds. Notice that there is no tread on the tire. Tires without tread are called slicks. Slicks. Slicks provide more surface area on the track than tires with regular tread patterns. This also enables the car to turn corners at higher speeds. As you can see, this car is designed to be very fast. It is a lot of fun to drive. Formula cars use very lightweight alloy rims. Rims. Rims are also called wheels. Notice that this wheel has a single bolt in the middle. Most streetcars have 4 or 5 bolts which connect the wheel to the car. But racing cars use wheels with a single bolt to allow the wheel to be changed very quickly. This is the back of the car or the rear of the car. Here you can see the exhaust pipe. Exhaust pipe. Remember when we saw flames coming from the back of the car? They were coming from the exhaust pipe. Next to the exhaust pipe is the car's suspension. Suspension. The suspension springs on this car are red. The metal box above the exhaust pipe is the transmission. Transmission. This car has 5 forward gears and 1 gear for reverse.
Learn English and have fun.
Come with me. We're here at the market. We're here in the produce department. Shoppers can find all sorts of delicious fresh fruits and vegetables. Let's take a look. Apples are grown all over the world. At our market here today, there are many varieties. Let's take a look.
Many people buy Honeycrisp, Honeycrisp, Braeburn, Braeburn, Red Delicious, Red Delicious. These are some other favorite fruits. Bananas, bananas. Tangerines, tangerines. Berries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. Sauce with cranberries.
These are melons. There are many different types. You can buy this one called a watermelon. This one is a cantaloupe. And this melon is a honeydew.
These are some other favorite fruits.
Grapefruit, grapefruit. Orange, orange.
Avocados, avocados. Vegetables. Potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Brown potatoes. Red potatoes. Yams.
Are you wondering what to fix for dinner?
Pork, pork. Chicken, chicken.
Welcome to the dairy section. This area has the milks, the butter, yogurt, cottage cheese, sour cream. These items are usually in refrigerated cases, so they stay cool and fresh.
Butter, cubed butter, cubed butter. Spray butter, And when you're in the dairy section, don't forget to buy milk, eggs.
Welcome to the bakery. There is as the bakery.
Come with me for a fun and fascinating look at many types of racing cars, motorcycles, and go-karts. Today, we're going to a racetrack in Tooele, Utah. Utah is a state located in the western part of the United States, in the Rocky Mountains. The racetrack we're visiting is Miller Motorsports Park. This park has one of the most modern and extensive racing facilities in the United States. You're looking at an aerial view of the racetrack right now. This track is located at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Some of these mountains reach up to 12,000 feet above sea level, or 4,000 meters. The racing facility itself is about 5,000 feet above sea level. There are always lots of entertaining things happening at the track. Come with me. Today we're going to the racetrack. Here we are in the pits. The pits. This is the nerve center for today's races. Cars are transported in from all over the country and from all over the world to compete in races. Racing is a very expensive sport. The cars are expensive, the trucks that transport the cars are expensive, and the equipment is expensive. As you'll see, competitive race teams require large support staffs to be successful. This also costs a lot of money. But racing is very fun and exciting. Some cars race in divisions for modified street cars. This is a Mazda RX-8, which is modified a great amount for racing. Each car is assigned to a specific garage in the pits. This is where cars come for adjustments and for repairs during the race weekend. The cars in front are specially designed race cars that are called prototypes. These cars were never intended for street use. They are only raced on high-performance race courses. This is a Pontiac chasing a Porsche. Pontiac is made in the United States. Porsche is made in Germany. These cars are designed for street use and then modified for racing. The Pontiac is a little faster than the Porsche. In endurance racing, several different drivers will drive the same car. When cars come into the pits for refueling and new tires, the drivers will also change. This can be a challenge because some drivers are tall, others are short, and adjustments must be made to accommodate the drivers. As you can see, the exchange is quite a process. Drivers need to be buckled into their safety harness, and communication equipment needs to be connected. The tube in the front of the driver's helmet is for hydration. This tube is connected to a watering system that provides the driver much needed hydration during the course of a long, hot race. Temperatures on the racetrack can easily reach 125 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 50 degrees Celsius. Drivers can lose 5 to 10 pounds in an endurance race, or 3 to 5 kilos. As you can see, this driver is anxious to get back out on the track. This team has successfully changed drivers, changed tires, refueled the race car, and made adjustments to the chassis or frame, as well as the suspension. Let's watch a pit stop, this time from outside of the car. The yellow tubes connected to the car are to fill the car's tank with fuel. The black tube on the top of the car is a high-pressure air hose. When the air hose is connected, it operates an internal jack system that is underneath the car. The jack system automatically lifts the car up to allow the tires to be changed. It is very important that the teams work efficiently in the pits. Teams that make slow pit stops lose precious time and position on the track. Good, efficient teams will gain precious time and track position. Watch these cars exit the pits. Note how close they are together. It is easy to see that a quick pit stop can lead to a big advantage.
Just say.
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 Just say
Hello.
Welcome to Come With Me. Today, we're going to the racetrack. Racing is a challenging sport. Even under the best conditions, it is very difficult. When you add in adverse conditions, such as rain, the results are often disastrous. cars are not designed to perform in the rain. They have no traction. These two Porsches are being very careful. The cars are designed to race on dry tracks. Even with special rain tires, the drivers must be very cautious. It is better to slow down than to be too aggressive and crash. Sometimes cars crash because of driver error. Sometimes crashes occur because of equipment failure. The red car, number 55, is a Ferrari. Ferraris are manufactured in Italy. This driver doesn't realize he has a flat rear tire. He needs to be careful not to cause severe damage to the car. He needs to get back to the pits to change the flat tire. One of the best things about this racing facility is that it is very safe. Notice that when the cars go off the track, there is plenty of runoff area, or in other words, there is a good amount of space for the cars to slow down. We've seen lots of accidents and situations where cars have left the track, but no one was injured. Imagine what would happen if there were trees or fences near the course. This driver is talking to his team in the pits. He'll be back in the pits in just a moment, and they'll have a new front end ready for the car. It will take only a few minutes to make the repair, and then the driver will join the race again. Sometimes things on a racetrack can go very wrong. This car just lost its engine. It is out of the race. Engine replacements cost from between $15,000 and $150,000. This turned out to be a very expensive day for the team in the white car.